Hey all, this is Lucy, and you're watching my channel, Hey Day the Day Away. Today we are going to talk about where to find expansion materials. And there are so many different ways to find them that I decided to do several different videos on it. So one of the first ways that I find BEM and SIM are by milking the boat leaderboard. Now by milking the boat leaderboard, I mean you go to the leaderboard and you go to the 4 farms that are around your name. And a lot of times you can find BEM and SIM on these farms that most people don't think to look for. And when I am looking through those seriously, then I will run a boat. So here is my boat, and I will fill it. And when I send that boat away, it's going to give me boat leaderboard points, and I'll move up the leaderboard, and then I can milk the next 4 boat leaderboard people that are around me. Now, I will say that I do not find BEM and SIM every single time as I search through the boat leaderboard, but when I do, it usually is a farm that has quite a few posted, like 30 or 40 bolts, planks, tapes, and I just snap those all up. Now those will go towards your 89 that you can get per day maximum. So that there is a limit on how many you can find in the boat leaderboard. There is, you can also search through the newspaper. It counts towards the same 89. It is important to try to get to the 89 maximum each day, but there is a maximum that you can get. So some of the most important ways to get BEM and SIM are the ways that do not go towards the maximum. You can get unlimited amounts of expansion material simply by doing some of the things that I will tell you about here. One of those ways is weeding. And weeding is just harvesting wheat and planting wheat over and over again and selling any excess wheat to get drop items. So let's finish up a few more boats here and see if I can find anybody who has any expansion materials. Now in one of my upcoming videos, I am going to implement all of the things that I'm going to show you and show you before and after pictures of BEM and SIM and any drop items that we usually get so that you can see exactly how many can be received throughout the day just by doing these simple things. And some of them may not seem like they're much, you may only get 1 or 2 items, but if you do them consistently, that really adds up, and it allows you to expand your barn and silo the most amount of times. Now that about wraps up all the boats, and you'll see that I didn't find anything, but as I do my boats throughout the day, I don't always run them, but as I do my boats throughout the day, I do milk the boat leaderboard. The next way that I want to tell you about finding expansion items is simply by feeding animals. Now, the animals that I'm talking about are simply cows, pigs, sheep, goats, chickens, and the more times you feed them, the more drop items you're going to get. Now, my farm drops an item about every 77-ish animals that I harvest. So obviously chickens are the best way to get a drop item. Now I'm watching as I'm harvesting and feeding these animals. We're going to do the chickens next. And no drop item there. We should be getting really close though. And how I do mine is I run 1 feeder on just chicken feed. There, you see a saw just came out of my goats. So now I'm about 77 animal harvests away from getting another drop item. I do that, I harvest the eggs and the milk consistently all day because I can run 1 feeder on milk feed and 1 feeder on chicken feed and keep them going all day long. Now another way to get those exact same drop items without having to do all of the harvesting work is you can hire Rose. You can use a booster for her as well, and then set your eggs as the item that she harvests, and she will harvest until she's completely full. And any drop items that she finds, she will put up on her cliff that I'll show you here in a little bit. Now, I usually put her to almost all eggs and then a little bit of milk because it just helps me stay on top of my milk items. I accidentally went all the way to 200, so there we go. A little bit of milk and a whole lot of eggs. Now we are going to do a little, this right up here. Oh, first I set her to feed all of the animals and keep enough feed to feed them. And this is where she is going to drop off any items that she collects. So that is what we're going to look at here after I give her a small break to do her work. We're going to come back and see what she's found for us. Now you can see all the eggs that she had. I've posted in my shop for sale. And then look right up here. These are the drop items that she's found. So we collect those, and do not let it there get 10, because when it gets to 10, it stops putting items up there, so you're just losing out on those drop items, just like you do as if your barn was full and you're weeding. So be sure to collect those drop items up there on the cliff regularly. Now, feeding other animals is another way. And this, I see so many people that do not feed their horses and do not feed their dogs and cats, kittens and dogs, guinea pigs. And I wonder, why not? It's so simple to do. And they give so many drop items for each of those feedings. So there I just did my horses. And then I usually go straight over to my donkeys. Now you can see I got a tape. And then here are the dogs. I got an axe. And I think it's about it's either 6 or 8 hours. I think it's 8 hours. I've never really timed it. But I put my horses up there where I always see them when they're hungry. And when my horses are hungry, then I know all my other animals are hungry, except for my donkeys. My donkeys are hungry every hour, I think. And then the new peacocks. They look like they're already fed. I think I fed them just a little bit ago. So that's always a smart thing to do. Now, feeding your sanctuary animals falls under the same thing. It's really hard to keep enough sanctuary feed for all of them, but I do happen to have enough in stock today. So I certainly will be doing that. You don't get quite as many drop items from the sanctuary animals, but like I said, every drop item counts towards just more expanding of your barn and silo. And that is my goal every single day, is to expand my barn and silo just as much as I can. Now I'm sincerely hoping that they give us another feed mill at the next update, or either that or decrease the time that it takes to make all of the feed, so that we'll be able to actually keep the sanctuary animals fed. It seems kind of irresponsible to not allow us to feed our animals. So anyway, the next way is I always serve my visitors that are going to go to the sanctuary, even if they take 3 buildings, simply because I get 2 drop items, one for fully serving the customer, and I get another drop item when they visit the sanctuary. So any of these that have the little paw print by them are going to give me 2 drop items. They're like extra bonus visitors. I always make sure to serve them. And that has my drop items right over here by my little puzzle piece book. Now, one of the easiest ways that I find BIM and Sim are simply by clicking on the movie tickets. Now, some of my farms make me actually watch a video, and most of them don't. Most of them just let me collect by clicking on them, and it gives me a free item just like that. It's that simple. Sometimes it's BIM, sometimes Sim, sometimes just about anything, occasionally diamonds. Then there are also the red boxes and floating boxes that are in the town. You can open them occasionally throughout the day. Now, I can't open that one. It costs diamonds, and I don't pay diamonds to open up the red boxes. I only get the free ones. It's just that simple. It doesn't cost anything. All you have to do is click on the red box. So here's one in somebody else's farm. You can do one on your farm and you can do one on somebody else's farm periodically throughout the day. And then there are the ones in the town. If I can get to somebody's town here. You don't know who this person is, just a random. And I got a green voucher. So then I can also go to my farm and look in the water, in the ocean. And here is one here, and I got an axe. It's really just that simple. All you have to do is click on it, and it's free to you to receive it. So those are some of the ways that I find BIM and SIM throughout the day. And I will say that I have about that many more ways that I search and find BIM and SIM every single day. It's really just a habit with me and how I work methodically my farm to find expansion materials. And I'm happy to share them with you guys. Be sure to hit that subscribe button because my next video will hopefully have all of the rest of the ways that I find BIM and SIM. And you'll be able to be one of the first ones to see that. Thank you for subscribing in advance. Now let's go heyday the day away.